Silver's going crazy lately. Good thing I locked in the price on these Benjis and Walker half dollars for my stream before it went over $22 an ounce today. Of course, when I picked those up, I couldn't turn down picking up some older stuff as well. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and I've got a constitutional silver or junk silver purchase hunt for you guys today. Like I said in the intro, I'm super excited that I got these prices for the Benjis and Walkers for my stream locked in before the silver went crazy and went up over $22 an ounce. But while I was there, I couldn't turn down the fact that he had some older items as well. So I picked up about $41 face value in the older stuff, as well as several dollars worth of Benjis and Walkers. Now I'm going to sort these by year and see if there's any key dates or semi-key dates. I'll check some of the Walkers and some of the Benjis for varieties. Not expecting to find any of that in here. Most of this stuff has already been kind of looked through, but I don't think it's been scrutinized as well as probably it could. Either way, we'll see what we got, and we'll save the second part of the hunt for this bag of goodies, which has some SLQs, Barbers, and seeded all denominations, quarters, half dollars, dimes, I think. We'll have to go through there and see what we got. Most of these will probably have dates in the 25 to 30 range for the SLQs, but possibly some dateless ones and maybe even some type 1s, and we'll take a look. That being said, let me do the fun task of dumping these out and getting them sorted by type first, Benjis to the left, Walkers to the right, and then we'll get them separated by year and see if we have anything cool. Let's get them sorted. So we've got the Benjis and Walkers sorted. Most of the Walkers were in the 40s, a handful in the 30s, 2 in the 20s, and 2 slick ones in the teens. As far as the Benjis go, most of it was the 60s. We had a nice group of 50s, a nice stack of 40s, and then the find of the 50s, I guess, was this beautiful 1955P. That is a tougher date. I will also say that some of these 40s are in pretty nice shape overall. I mean, that is a nice 1949. Another nice 1948. And a few other 49s and 48s as well. I didn't see anything that was proof-like or even a proof, but there are a lot of beautiful 50s and 60s Benjis in here. And I will have to check them against my album. Even though my album has many Mint State Benjis, there were some really nice ones that might upgrade my Benji book. I'll save that for another hunt. I'm just going to quickly run through these, see if there's any DDOs or DDRs on a few of the more valuable dates. And if there is, I'll bring in. Otherwise, we'll get you a wrap up of what we have in total. And then I'll grab that other bag of goodies, which is what I want to spend most of the time on this video looking through. Well, I've gone through all the Benjis and all the Walkers. I was actually able to update or upgrade, if you will, 3 Benjis for my album. So I'll take that. Ran out of rolls for half dollars, so the Walkers are going to get loose. But I had a good time going through it. No key dates, no semi-key dates. I didn't see any varieties as normal. I didn't go through every single one of the years of the Walkers and the Benjis to find any DDOs, but I checked for the most common ones and the ones that are easier to spot despite a little bit of wear. Now that we've done that, it's time to sort out this bag of older constitutional silver and see what we got. So as you can see, it's a pretty good mix of all types of denominations and designs, and I'm excited to get into it. Let's go ahead and start sorting it and see what we got. All right, we've got the older Constitutional Silver sorted. A lot of it's in decent shape, some of it's in pretty rough shape, but what are you gonna do when you buy it at a junk silver purchase price, which I'll take? We got a little bit of seeded Liberty $half as well as some Liberty or Barber head $half. Can't get mad at that. A little stack of seeded Liberty quarters and some Barber quarters, as well as a nice amount of dated and undated SLQs, my favorite. We even got a stack, if you will, of seeded Liberty dimes and some Barber dimes. So now that we've got them all sorted, let's just go through them. I'll set them up by dates and see if we have anything that's a better date, a better mint, or possibly a better coin in condition overall. We'll start with the $half first. So I've got the $half laid out. We'll start with the Barbers. We have an 1899p, a 1900p, a 1902O, a 1904p, a 1906O, and a 1906 Denver, a 1907O, and a 1907 Denver, a 1909 San Francisco, and a 1912 San Francisco. None of these are better dates, and most of them are in pretty rough shape, but some of them are in a little bit better shape and possibly might fill a spot in one of my albums, which I'll take a look at. As far as the seeded Liberties, we did have an 1877S. Not in the best shape, but we'll take it. We actually had an 1867 Philadelphia. This is less than $500,000 minted and in good for condition is a $100 coin. But this is not in good for condition. We cannot read all of the letters on the back. And because we cannot read all the letters on the back, it's probably AG3 at best. Either way, we paid junk silver price for a better date. So that makes me a little bit happy. We've got kind of an oddity here. I can't see the date on this one. I can see that there's no rays above the eagle and there is no motto above the eagle in that banner. So we know it is a Variety 1, and Variety 1 was minted from 1839 to 1853, and then it put some arrows at the date, and because of the lack of detail, I don't think it has arrows, but it could, but I don't think it does. So it also could be an 1856 through 1866. When I put it under the scope, I can clearly see that it's definitely an 1805. That's definitely the top part of a 5, and you can just barely see the outline of the 5 there. What's getting me is this last part right here. I don't know if that's an 1850. No clue what that last digit is. I don't know if that's maybe the top of a 1, and you kind of can see that maybe there's a 1 there, so it could be an 1851. But I don't know, it could be anything from 1850 through 1859, other than 1853, and possibly other than 1854 and 55, because I don't see arrows at the date. It doesn't really matter what year it is. With the O mint mark on the back, it's likely not a better date. I believe the 1852 O would be a better date, but I can't tell if it's an 1852 O or not. If it was, obviously it would be worth a lot. And if it was an 1853 O, which there's only like a handful of those known, it would be worth a fortune even in this condition. We'll never know that last digit. That's unfortunate. We know it's an O, and I'll tell you, the O looks large on this, and there is a variety in 1851 with a large O. It could be that. I'll have to look it against other O seeded Liberties I have, but for sake of time, we won't do that today. Either way, very happy having an 1867, better date, seeded Liberty, and one from the 50s. Now that we've done that, let me clean this up, and we'll move on to the quarters. Because there's so many SLQs, we'll do the seeded Liberties and the Barber first. Nothing great here. An 1856 Hold seeded Liberty quarter. It's a beautiful quarter. Too bad it's got the hole in it. I'll take it though. It's a nice find. We've got an 1861 Philly, two 1876 San Franciscos, an 1877 San Francisco, and a pretty nice 1891 Philadelphia. For the Barbers, we've got an 1898 Philly, an 1899 Philly with no detail really, a really slick 1908, and a pretty slick 1909. Nothing fantastic there, but always fun to add some more old silver to the collection, which I will do. Now let me get the SLQ sorted, see if we have any variety ones or any ones dated prior to 1925. That would be cool. So we've got the SLQs done. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. I did check the 1927s for any mint marks like a D or an S. Those are better dates. All those are from Philly. We have a stack of dateless SLQs, all variety 2, all with mint marks, but I can't decipher a date right now. I'll spend more time on those later. And then all variety 2, dateless with no mint marks, SLQs as well. That's how I sorted them. Nothing extravagant there. A lot of dates visible, which is always a good thing on your SLQs. I'll take them. Now that we've done that, we've got to move on to the dimes. So we finished the seated Liberty dimes. They're in varying degrees of condition. Most of them not that great. I'll tell you, we did find a CC. Here's an 1876 trashed, albeit it does have a CC mint mark on the back. I'll put it under the scope so that you can see it. Right there, Carson City. We will take an 1876 CC in any condition. That's a nice find. And then we have one more here, and this one has no date, but it has an O mint mark. And because of the shape of the ribbons on the back, and I can catch just the glimpse of the legend on the front, United, you can barely catch it. We know that it is a variety 4, so it's going to be 1860 through 1891. But because there's an O mint mark, if my memory serves me correctly, the New Orleans Mint only minted legend on obverse seated Liberty dimes in 1860 and 1891. Now, if it's 1860 O, this is a masterful find because that only has 40,000 minted. I don't think it's an 1860 O. I put it under the microscope here, and this is what I'm seeing. I don't think I see an 1860, and because I cannot validate it, I'm going to go with an 1891 O, which is common, and in this condition, even more so. We also grabbed an 1891 S. Can't get mad at that, but nothing spectacular there other than the Carson City dime, which I already have a nice one in my collection, but it's always nice to see one in a junk silver purchase. Now that we've finished the seated Liberty dimes, the last stack is the Barber dimes. Let me get them sorted, and I'll be back. Well, I'll go ahead and save you the effort on what we got in the dimes. A lot of it's just common dates in varying degree of different conditions, of course. Some slightly better than the others, but I'll take them. The best find of the bunch was an 1893. I think it's been cleaned before, but it does have some decent detail, and it is a better date. 1893, obviously a second year Barber dime, and I don't think I have one in that good a condition for my album. At the end of the day, I had fun going through all of this junk silver. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. As is typical, we didn't score anything amazing, but we got to have fun, add silver to our stack, and to our albums. If you enjoyed this junk silver purchase and constitutional hunt, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, happy stacking, and thanks for watching.